Here's adventure.
His fast gun for hire heeds the calling wind.
This is High Noon and welcome! Are you prepared to draw? I hope so! And I don't mean any of that liver-lizzied, gun-slinging stuff, and I don't mean any of that artist stuff. I'm here to do that. Yous all will just draw together, become family, friends, help each other, support each other, all that stuff. This is a place to have a good old time, friends and frolic, and all that stuff. Okay? This is it.
Hey everyone, I just need to share this out. Things are, lucky as ever. I guess we're only on thing today, so there we go. I thought I did the restream thing, but looks like I did not. So, let's see. Sharing this out on Twitter. And let's of course go Parlor. And I guess mind. I have a mind to help you. There we go. Post. Boom. Okay, so we're all shared out. Let's give a link to go for people to possibly join chat the messaging. Turn me down, Mom. Okay, there we go. So everything is shared out. Okay, so we're down to these few panels here. Okay, so there are one thing here. Okay, so let's see. We're in panel. Hold on, I need to get my room to turn things down a little. Want to turn that down a little bit, Mom? Okay, I'm back. Actually, you know what? I want to put a link. Oh, this probably got still have the dark settings too, doesn't it? Yeah, so let's get that time. There's one other thing I want to do. We get ourselves one of our links. So save and message. There we go. Okay, so we're on. That was panel 2 that we've been working on. We want to go and work on panel 3. Okay, so yeah, add a layer there. Come here. Going to grab their suits. Come here. And I guess no, I'll probably go a little darker. Oh, maybe it's too dark. Okay, I think that's good there. You know what? We need to. There we go. I'm gonna have this whole thing here. Yeah. Well, I didn't color in the axe handle there. I might do that. Stay. And we need to color in some stuff here. Okay, so there we go. Well, that's looking good. Hose. Now. Here we go. That doesn't look good on the hose. I don't know. I might redo. Just delete that. You need to evaluate what looks good where. Because I like to think the spray here looks better on the hose, makes it look more real. Around it where this solid stuff like this looks better on the back. Let's I've got to go through all these layers and do the boring, monotonous thing of labeling every single one. Some sort of descriptor. And the back of that, even though this is slowly. There we go. Let's see the tanks. So let's see. Let's get the tanks up here. I'm going to put some lines on this one. Pretty barren. Well, I'm not going to do anything to the boots. They're black. Probably make them blacker, but okay. So now we got all the yellow bands that are supposed to be reflective. Let's see. Let's make that add a glow effect. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. Well, I might reduce opacity on this stuff. Okay, there we go. Reduce opacity. I'm not sure whether that does what I want, but I don't think I need to do anything to that layer. Okay, so maybe darker anyways. But you know, we got the original color. Just make them darker and then add some reflectiveness to it. Well, that's what we should do to the Control Z. The fire extinguishers. Okay, so we can do that. Go one more, we're gonna make it white. Too soft. Bring it down to there. That looks good. Okay, so now we actually need to probably do the same thing to the fire extinguishers so we can bind them. One above there. Okay, we found the fire extinguishers. Let's make sure we had grabbed them, do a selection from layer. Okay, I think I need to make it a little bigger on fire extinguishers. Let's see, I don't really like any of those. Okay, so now we need to finish off the hose there too. So we need got a few things that we need to color in. Okay, so we're gonna go up to the top here. We're gonna add. Okay, so this is gonna be the hose nozzle. I don't know what color they're supposed to be, but I'm gonna make it grayish so it can be metallic. I'll put a couple of, well, a chrome, whatever, a shiny silverish metal. Ooh. So there's that, like that, or maybe we want this a brownish. The axe handle here, a wrench handle. Well, that would be a reddish color, wouldn't it? Either reddish or. Because this looks like one of the big wrenches they have. Not sure what this thing here is. Looks like I need to go over some things on this, actually erase and not, to make it look better. Okay, so I made this thing here yellow and I have no idea what it is. Oh, too much crap on. Okay, let's get labeled what we need labeled. So you know what, we're gonna take everything out and build it back up layer by layer for color. Okay, so we put in this first color. That is the building, basically. Building. Building shading. Building texture. We'll go shading. Shading. Fire on fire. Lighting. Not lightning, lighting. On building. Building floor. Well, I'm gonna start putting locks on these ones too. Come on, geez, how hard is it not to draw over that big fat line? Hey, Dillard! How are you? And I'm just trying to go over a bunch of coloring stuff on this panel here. And label that, just get some tweaks done. Okay, so there we go. Race. Yeah. I took all the thing out. I don't even know if I need that. Yeah, I don't think I need that. I'm gonna take that layer out. Seem to be serving no real purpose. Floor shading. You want a link, John, or? Fire. Lighting. Floor. Fire. Give me a sec. Yeah, right goal. There you go, I sent it directly to you on the Twitters. What's this one? That is smoke. I have no idea what 73 is doing. So let's take 73 out. Fire and outfits. Shading on fire and outfits. Hey John, how are you today?
Well, hello. I gotta turn up the volume on my phone because I'm watching you. What's new?
Not much. Just labeling all the layers on this panel. And that's a pain. Shading. I just decided I needed it. I need to go and relabel everything on each panel. Well, not relabel everything, but there's a bunch of stuff it doesn't have actual label. You know, it's just layer whatever.
Things don't need labels for what?
To make things easier to be found. If you want to change something. Makes it faster searching anyways. So what are you up to?
I guess so.
What are you up to today?
Coloring.
I
got to color for a little bit this morning. Before it's going to be super windy today, so we had to do a couple of things. It gets really windy over here. We had to take down the hanging plants, put them in the corner so that way they don't fall off of whatever they're hanging on. That sort of thing. Now I'm going to do a little bit of coloring, but I have to actually go and buy flooring today.
For your tiny house?
Actually, no. Shit. Even more important, I got to go get my oil changed and then a smog check so I can get my car registered.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that'd be a little bit more important. So what time do those things open up?
They're already open. I just wanted to do some drawing first.
Oxygen, should I call this oxygen and tanky? But it's making it metallic, so we're trying to. Shiningness. Boots. Do you got the boots on the ground? bands. I'm hoping to get this layer done, or this panel done today. I know, I'm half sick of this one. I want what's the name to get me another page, just so I can do something else for a week or a few days. So what are you coloring? As if I can guess.
I'm coloring that double splash page.
Cool.
The one where the buckler's throwing everybody off of him.
Oh, okay. Cool. That's gonna be that sounds like it might be a pain to color.
Oh yeah, for sure. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. The main problem is that it's such a large file that it takes a long time to do anything. Like
Yeah.
I do a couple of spot colors and stuff, and then all of a sudden it has to load because it's such a big image.
Oh wow.
Yeah. No bueno.
I'm not sure how to spell nozzle. I think it's got two S's.
Like I want to grab a selection from the layer, like a whole layer page, and it takes such a long time to
Do.
it has to load and stuff. It's terrible. There's something going on also with my
With your what?
Oh, I know what's happening. Oh, I see what's happening. That's not good.
What?
It was on the wrong. It was on the wrong selection for the layer.
Lovely.
Like I was trying to shadow or shade. See, it's locked. I don't need that to be locked. Unlock that. What is going on?
Hey, Alex. Yeah, not much traffic today yet. No. We do have John on here if you did not hear him yet. He's coloring the double page spread from the buckler. And I am actually coloring, hopefully putting the finishing touches on this panel 3. This one got some color from another panel, so I could and I need to That did not go on right.
What?
I'm just saying, man, I cannot draw a straight line today. Or even
They have a tool for that.
Or even a curved line, it seems.
They also have a tool for that as well.
Yeah, well, was using the lasso tool to color in an area. So I'll just have to erase a little bit of stuff. Oh, did you see Metal made a small video from the drowning incident on Sunday?
There was a drowning incident?
You know, in the Final Fantasy game that we were playing?
Oh. I know, I didn't see it. No.
Yeah, I started watching it just before I started my stream today.
Where was it posted?
On YouTube here. I'll put a link in the chat for anybody that wants to check it out later.
Well, you lie and you cheat and you try to make a fool of she.
Let's need to expand that a little. So how are you today, Mallet? If you're still here. I want to create another layer. Take that out. So how many pages are you down to for coloring?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still working on the same page.
No, like how many pages left to
Yeah,
color?
same page. 17.
17?
Well, leave that as it is. There's so many effects going on. There's like a night sky, but there's also fire on this building in the background and fire on the bridge in the foreground to the left, and they both have to be reflecting off of each other.
Lovely.
Let me see.
The coloring book started on their shipping journey to me yesterday.
Uh-huh.
They are in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, so hopefully they will be at the border by the end of the day. Maybe even over the border.
Where's Williamsburg? I don't know where that is.
Let's see. Did they take down the map? Okay. Yeah.
Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town, and my throat was dry.
So, if you look on my screen, I did a Google Maps earlier.
It's in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I got it.
Right where that is, there's Hamilton. So, we are fairly close to it. It could potentially get to Buffalo border crossing today. If they do anything smart. But knowing my luck, they're going to go all the way over to, like, Detroit to bring it in. And it came from Maryland. Maryland? I think it was Maryland. So.
I don't know nothing about East Coast mail logistics.
I wouldn't think you would. You probably spent most of your life on the West Coast. Cracking open another Diet Coke.
Yes, Rick, you got a problem?
Nope. I'd say I wish I had one, but I don't. I'd rather a regular Coke.
I'm sorry, say what?
I'd say I wish I had one, but I'd rather a regular Coke.
Yeah, you don't like Diet Cokes anyway. What do you care?
Yeah, Diet Coke tastes awful. All diet drinks taste awful.
Not Diet Dr. Pepper. You can't even tell the difference. Especially Diet Dr. Pepper Cherry.
What would it do? What did what do, Marsupial?
What do you mean, what did what do? You've never heard the expression, what it do?
No?
Were you born underneath of a rock?
No.
I think that you were if you never heard what it do.
No, I just think I wasn't born in California.
It's not a California saying. It's an East Coast saying from the Bronx in New York.
Well, I don't live anywhere close to there either.
Well, neither do I, but yet I've heard of it and it's closer to you.
Yeah, but it is in the States, right? So.
Meaning what? You've never heard of anything from the United States?
No, but I'm sure there's lots of things in the States that somebody from the States would have heard of that somebody in Canada would not have.
Nope, because it comes from popular culture, meaning rap music, which means everybody in the world knows it.
Oh, see, therein lies your problem. I don't listen to mainstream rap.
Doesn't
music.
matter. You still would have heard of this thing because it became popular in common speak.
Not enough for me, anyways.
I think you're just being difficult, Rick. That's all.
Yeah.
I think you know that.
Marsupial says, Canadian version. What it do, eh? Again, don't make sense, eh?
I'm going to share this.
Okay. We will pin the Dillard. And then we have to change. Oh, yeah. There we go. Marsupial says, I learned that from your boy Zach.
Yeah.
So you probably didn't know it up until like what, 3 years ago then, Marsupial? 4? Well, that's looking good, John.
It's just flats.
That's still looking good.
Wait, did he say what it do or what it is?
What it do?
Oh, yeah. I remember when Zach was talking about that. And what's even worse about this drawing is that I got to be constantly saving it because it's such a big file. It ends up just like messing up on me for no reason, just because it's kind of big.
Yeah, I can believe that. Yeah, let's see what we can get. Okay, there we go. Hopefully.
Sorry, can you hear the weed whacker going off?
Yeah.
Let me turn off my volume because the landscapers are kind of doing it around the perimeter of this little house right now.
Oh, you need a better computer, John. No, it just needs better audio. And I guess that's what clued him in too. Okay. Okay, so we gotta go to this. And my super, no, he needs a better computer so big files won't crash it. Oh, yeah. Well, if he gets me one like, if he gets himself one like he got me, he should be alright because I don't think it would crash. Because hey, Joshua. How are you today, Joshua? But Joshua says, hello, Mario. How are you today? It's me, Joshua. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see, yellow bands. There we go. Let's just use erase. Oh. Oh, there we go. This is looking good, better. Doing the small things that I need to do to make it better. So, John, were you reading anything in the RPG chat?
No, what happened in the RPG chat?
No, not much. We're getting limit break moves, which is basically special moves. So you're gonna have an extra move every 20 turns that you have. You're gonna have a super move that you can do. There's different ways to getting building up a meter for the super move. I've picked every 5 victories. There's a whole bunch of other ways too. So, Metal made it up for you last night or early this morning, depending on how you look at it.
Why?
Why what? Why did he make it up for you?
That is what you just said, and then I said why.
Well, he figured for you at least. You wouldn't want to go into all the thing of making it up yourself, so. And figuring out the math or whatever, having it so you have to figure out the math and all that. Or why are we given the moves?
Sure, answer both questions.
Well, I think I did. I hope I answered the first one already.
You answered it satisfactorily. Now answer the second.
Well, apparently limit break moves are a thing in Final Fantasy, and he's been reading up on it, and he figured we could add them in, and we got it. Basically, you get them for doing certain things, and one of those things in this case would have been delivering Dana to, what's the name of it? You know, the town that we did from Clement Bay to Penn's Reach.
And you get a limit break for that because why?
I don't know exactly why. the logistics in his mind, but we're getting it. That's all I know. And like my limit breaker is I jump on my bird and run across the battlefield, knocking all the opponents down, doing a little bit damage, but there's a good chance of me causing confusion in all of them. So they could hit each other and all that. Or possibly hitting each of the characters in front of me and 2 on each side, so 5 wide. So
I understand.
So there's a good chance of this thing, me hitting them all, giving them all a little bit of damage, plus causing confusion. So, and as your levels go up, usually whichever limit breakers you get, because we can have up to 16 of them. The potential damage and stuff increases.
So how little bit of damage are we talking?
Well, for my character, yours, I think it's going to be different.
Oh.
I'm about 60, but you're the one that he made for you. You can basically keep, as long as the dice roll in your favor, you can just keep punching your character and dealing damage till the dice fail on you. Do not roll in your favor. So you can potentially, with this move, one shot, a boss, really.
Seems like some sort of a game-breaking mechanic.
Is there a limit break that will let Rick actually kill something? Not yet. So, Raggedy was asking that, so.
Of course.
So yeah, well, yeah, like I said, it should be pretty. I think it should. It'll add another aspect to the game, anyways.
That's good. I don't like games that are without aspects.
And the great thing for you, especially, is what's his name? Metal is willing to keep track of at least the number of turns for you. Everybody else has got to keep track of it themselves. But this is, you don't seem to like to keep track of all this stuff, what you can do, when you can do it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of doing a whole bunch of work for no reason.
So potentially being able to do more damage to your opponents isn't a good enough reason?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm talking about the overall, enjoyment of a game.
Yeah.
The potential to do more damage at one point by doing a tedious amount of math and work all the time is not worth it. The worth doesn't match up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Spending a whole bunch of time trying to figure out how to make coconut and lentil soup, and then spending thousands and thousands of dollars on the ingredients just so that we can have a nice hearty meal doesn't add up. It's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you probably would have gotten like a couple hundred lentils for that price.
No, I would have gotten a pound of lentils.
Yeah, but how many lentils are in a pound?
It doesn't matter. You make a meal out of weight. You don't make it out of individual lentil beans.
No, you'd probably.
It's not like they're going to turn into like senzu beans, where every single bean gives you a boost. It's a meal.
Yeah, but you're getting a pound, but you wouldn't use a whole pound in.
Yes, you would, and a pound wouldn't even be enough. Dude, have you ever made a pot of soup for like 5 people?
No. Well, he was saying one also that it was 1 coconut per person too. So what you had grabbed was enough for 3. So the lentils probably would have been enough for 3 different things. I'd say more.
3 different people. There's 5 people in our group.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't even be enough of a meal. That 1 pound of lentils wouldn't have been enough of a meal to feed everybody. Just 3 people.
I think you would have still had stuff left over.
Oh, the cost of these lentils was prohibitively expensive to the point where it wouldn't have mattered if I could make 10 servings of soup. It still wouldn't have mattered. And even if I had negotiated and gotten a fantastic deal of like half off, 500 gil for a pound of lentils is still a crap deal, and there's no reason to make it. It was just a complete waste of time altogether.
Timothy says there's a burger in Vegas that is $5,000.
Yeah, there is.
Why doesn't he just make it 1 use per day? And hello, Timothy. Well, it's so you can build it up. Depending on the way that you build up the bar for lack of a better way of saying it, bar to be able to use it. Raggedy.
The reason is there is no reason. The only other reason is so that it can give you more things to do that are tedious. Making something available to you once every 20 rounds may work from a mechanics standpoint, but it definitely does not work from a fun standpoint.
Yeah, well, guess what? Your character, he's doing that because it's one of the two easiest ways to keep track of it, and there's other ways that you could possibly get it like 2 or 3 times in a round too, but that involves a lot of math. Which you're not up for, and although he likes math, he's not up for keeping track of all the time too.
And also, there's not much that can be done in this game that's effective outside of your actual attacks. So there's no really any reason to role play or do anything like that. You just wait for your turn to come up and you say, I do this.
Well, you should get better with your skills, I think there is, but and depending on who you're doing it up against. Timothy's trying to give you the nickname John Damn It Rick. So have we determined the killing point? The killing point of what? Oh, probably what will make the Canadian Shield kill?
No, I imagine that Rick thought about it zero after his show ended.
Oh, we talked a little bit about it actually on thing last night. Not a lot, but a little.
And what did you come up with?
Nothing new, but so we talked about
That's
like
what I just said. And then
Yeah.
when the show ended, you didn't think about it at all, right?
well, I went to bed almost right away too. Well, not when
The answer is
show-
yes, John, you're right.
Timothy says he kills the buckler with a really big Bible.
He what?
He kills the buckler with a really big Bible. Mellet says, I wonder what Rick does when he's not streaming. Watch TV, play games, do some other minor stuff for comics, sometimes major stuff for my comics. Whatever basically I feel like doing.
Whatever basically I feel like doing.
Not lately. There's no reason to apply for a job lately.
Yes, there is. For money.
Yeah, well, very few places are hiring. In fact, more places are laying off. We just went into another lockdown here, so. So we're going to be having even more businesses go out of business.
So?
I'd actually be surprised if anywhere is actually hiring at the moment.
Yeah, there are 3,742 places hiring in Hamilton currently.
Wow.
Worker ground maintenance. Do you have any experience in grounds maintenance?
Not really.
How about building maintenance?
No.
Like you couldn't do a job as a janitor?
Oh, I could, but I don't have the experience in it.
Well, this job posting has been open since February, so it looks like they're having a hard time finding people that are trying to apply. How about a retail salesperson? Could you do that?
Oh, I could, and I've applied I don't know how many times for jobs like that, but I never get a call back.
How about a helper for a bakery, a cook's helper?
Yeah, I could probably do that, but again,
That's Pond del Sol Bakery in Hamilton. The starting pay is $14.25 to $17.
Minimum wage, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I never said there was anything wrong with it.
Oh, here we go. There's a shipper receiver. Anybody could do that job.
Yeah.
You just unload trucks. Chadwick's and Hacks Fireplace and Barbecue, Hamilton, Ontario. $15.50 an hour.
And where is it in Hamilton? Does it say?
Let me take a look. Hacks Fireplace. Okay, let me grab a map for this place. Alright, do you know where Fennel Avenue is?
Yeah.
It's on Fennel Avenue next to, I guess the biggest store that would be next to would be the Dairy Queen Grill and Chill.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where that is.
Well, right there.
And what job is that for?
It is Chadwick's and Hacks Fireplace Barbecue, shipper receiver.
Oh, that's okay. I think I know what that one is. It's basically it's just a place that sells that stuff, obviously.
Yeah, barbecue supplies.
Yeah.
You essentially pack stuff up to be shipped. You may even deliver stuff. Who knows? And then you receive things and unpalletize them and stock them.
Well, I wouldn't be able to deliver anything because I don't have a license.
Uh-huh.
I've done that once before. It wasn't, well, I've loaded up a truck. I have unloaded trucks too, but
Would you be able to assembly line style make cabinets?
probably not.
Why not?
I probably wouldn't be fast enough.
Well, I mean, not off the hop you wouldn't, but, you know, after about a good 2 weeks, they show you how to use the tools that they have. You don't have to bring anything. You just kind of stand there, and you have the pieces come to you, and then you assemble certain pieces, and then you put it back on the line, or put it behind you, and they come and collect it.
Yeah, well, I get that, but I probably end up wouldn't be fast enough.
Well, they start at 25 an hour.
Well, they probably would hire me for sure then.
Like, there's a place over here. If you're a young man and you got a young back and you can do a squat really well,
No.
and you're able to hold that for 8 hours a day, you can work at UTI Insulation. And what you do essentially is you stand at the end of an assembly line. They cut off a piece of insulation at about 50 feet,
No.
and then you pull it into a bag and you stuff it into a bag as fast as you can. Then you spin it. You put your knee on the bag to kind of compress it. Then you spin it, and you grab that bag where you spin it, and you put it into a little hog ring press, and then you toss it over your shoulder down into the bin below. That is the hardest job I ever had. It is an awful, awful, awful job, and nobody wants it, and they're always hiring, and they start you at like $33 an hour. It is just god awful.
Yeah, well, that's definitely good for where you live too. $33 an hour.
Oh yeah. That basically that's a starting wage for somebody that comes out of college with a master's degree. And anybody can do it, and the turnover is very high.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to do a squat.
People usually quit the second day.
I know I wouldn't be able to do a squat for 8 hours a day.
I mean, you get a 15-minute break. You get a 15-minute break, a 10-minute break, and then lunch break.
Which is half an hour. So, still doing a squat for basically 2 hours, then an hour and 45 minutes, and then probably an hour and 50 minutes. No, another 2 hours, and then an hour and 50 minutes.
Would you be able to do home health work?
I would not. They probably want papers or something. They probably need you to have a vehicle or whatever. So.
So it seems like all these excuses as to why you don't want a vehicle would be really helpful, in getting a job.
Yeah, well, it costs money to.
Or even a license. You don't even need a vehicle. You just need a license.
Yeah, well, that costs money, costs time, and that's not a bad thing, But
I mean, once you get a driver's permit license, whatever, in Canada, do you have to pay for it every year?
No, the first stage is you have to have somebody driving with you. Second stage is you basically drive by yourself, but number of people to number of seatbelts. 0% alcohol, and you can't drive at night or something like that.
Yeah, but nobody actually checks that, right?
Yeah, or very few.
Or if any. Like, I know in America, you get your learner's permit, and then you have to drive with somebody that's over 25 years old and has a license. You can't drive by yourself. But nobody ever checks that. Then you go, all that really matters is your behind the wheel test, right?
Yeah. And looking older, I'd probably have nobody check it. And that's really not what matters to me anyways. The reason I'm not going for it right now is the test it costs money. But again, that's only half the reason. Unless I have a car that's going to be available to me, and I know 100% that it's going to be available to me, then I've decided not to go for it, because the last time I was about to go for my test, which was like 20 years ago, I couldn't get a car to drive to take my test.
Yeah, but all that is money as well, right?
Pardon? And then
all that is money. All that is money as well.
Well,
you pay a driving school to let you borrow a car, drive you there, and borrow their car. as long as it's in working operation. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure whether
It's the same thing when you get a truck driving license, right? Because nobody actually has their own big rig truck. You go to a school, and then they drive the truck there. You use it, and then you pay them money, and then they take it back.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure whether they would do that here or not.
They would, and even if that doesn't work, all of this stuff is just dedicating the money to it, because you could very easily go to a rent-a-car if you just know somebody that has a license.
Yeah.
Oh, the only thing the DMV is worried about, or the Department of Motor Vehicles, or whatever they call it over there, is that you have a car that everything works in it.
Yeah. I just know I wouldn't have even been able to afford to do that last time. I couldn't even find a friend that would lend me a car that I could get it for an hour.
Yeah, because it's a big issue, and it's a big thing to let somebody borrow your car.
Well,
especially when they ain't got no license.
Well, I basically had my license, and my mom was going to be with me and all that, so no, it's not that nobody trusted me with the driving of their vehicle. It was just that there was no way of getting it or whatever. There was a whole bunch of stuff, I'm not sure the problem is this right word or whatever. I just wasn't able to get a car to drive for it, and I decided at that point, unless I know I'm going to 100% be able to have a car, it's not even worth going for, because at that point I had to pay out, what was it, $25 or $75, which I shouldn't have paid in some ways when I think about it, because I missed my appointment. Or because, I canceled my appointment at the last second, So, they required a cancellation fee. Jeez. Well, what are you going to do if I don't pay it? Just charge me extra next time? Well, it's been 20 years. And it was money that I didn't have to put out, for something. Nothing. Well, it says I need better friends, yeah.
No, I mean, that's also something that you do need.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my closer friends don't even drive as well, so.
Yeah, you need different friends. Because the thing is, it's an investment. It's not just for play.
Yeah.
You can actually, if you have a license, you can do stuff with it, like make money.
Yeah. My dad was out of town. Well, my dad lives out of town, so borrowing his vehicle, my mom.
Like I said, if you wanted to get your license, I would help you get your license. But you can't be like, there's no point. There is a point in getting your license.
Well,
so you can do stuff.
Yeah, there is technically a point, yeah. But I can't even know. My mom has her license, and we can't afford to have a car.
Right, but if your mom needed to apply for a job that required a license, she could do that, as opposed to somebody who did not have a license. And the thing is, a lot of these jobs require you to have a license, and some of them never even use it. I had a job working for Inland Kenworth, which is I was essentially a truck wash. I was the only person that worked in the truck wash department. That was my job.
Yeah.
And it required me to have a license. In the off chance that somebody was getting, or a vehicle was getting purchased that would need to get picked up. In my 5 years working there, I never left the facility. I didn't need my license, but they needed me to have one on file.
Yeah.
Because all I was mainly doing was just driving the stuff around the yard.
Yeah.
And I pretended that I knew how to drive a truck. This is before I was even a truck driver. I pretended that I knew how to drive a truck just so I could maneuver it around the yard from the wash bay to the mechanic's bay. And when the guy was giving me a tour in one of the trucks around the lot, I was just watching him as he was shifting and stuff, and just kind of copied what he did. And I just kept it in first gear the entire lot, and they offered me the job.
Yeah. No, Dave does not drive. He doesn't have his license, and he doesn't smoke pot anymore. He used to, and he just gets it from friends that lives nearby or whatever. No, I don't have a bicycle, Mallet. Yeah, I've applied to Small Mart several times. They never even call me. Actually, I think I got called once.
You ever heard of a place called Bulk Barn?
Yeah.
They're hiring for a cashier, minimum wage.
Surprised that they are.
What about Stone on the Go?
Never heard of them.
Neither have I. Well, they have a garbage truck driver, right? This is $27 an hour. All this requires is that you have a license, because you are not going to be driving the car. You are just going to be assisting. You're going to be hanging off in the passenger seat for the first 3 years because they don't trust you with a truck.
Yeah, I've applied for that stuff. That's all through temp agencies, and if it's the same as it was before, you actually need the driver's license or whatever, because they pick you up someplace outside of town or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to actually drive or have a car, but you need to have a license on file.
No, for this place, you need to be able to get to this place outside of town, and that's 50 or 60 miles away or whatever.
What about Q-Stop convenience store?
Where is it?
Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh, jeez, that tells me a lot.
It's in the same town as you, so you'll be able to get there by bus.
Oh, there's places you can't get to by bus here.
I understand that, but likely you will be able to get there. If it's a place that people go to, like a convenience store, it's likely that you'll be able to get there with a bus.
Possible.
What about Waste Connections of Canada? You ever heard of Waste Connections of Canada?
No.
Let me look it up here. Waste Connections.
What is this?
All right. Have you ever heard of a street called Parkdale?
Yep.
What about Rennie or Rennie Street?
Renee?
It might be Renee. I don't know.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
It's in a place of town called Parkview East.
How about the donut shop a block away? You're talking Tim Hortons? I've applied at Timmy's. Never have they called me back.
Well, this place, Waste Connections of Canada, what it is it's basically like a recycling plant / dump.
Oh, I've probably worked there before then. Under a different, through temp agency.
Yeah, it's a disposal company. So this place, Waste Connections of Canada, doesn't look like it's very far. Like, it's, yeah, you know where Crown Point East is?
No, that I don't.
Do you know where Nashdale is?
I know where Nash is, but not Nashdale. Are you showing the map?
I mean, I'm looking at it. I don't think I'm showing it.
You want to show the map, maybe?
If I show you the map, are you going to apply for the job?
Probably not.
Here,
Have you
know, are you familiar with this place?
Well, there. Yeah, that's easy enough. Waste Connections Canada would be easy enough to get to.
Yeah, is this right here? Waste Connections of Canada, and they start you at $16.40 an hour, just general labor, unskilled. Bam.
Cash for you. It looks like it at the moment, Joshua, that John is job searching for me.
They want somebody to start as soon as possible. I mean, you got to apply today and then call them this afternoon.
Well, that would probably end my YouTube career completely.
So what? It wouldn't end your comic making career.
Probably.
Why? You don't do anything with other than 8 hours of your day?
I say probably at that point because then I'd have no time to promote it.
So?
So I'd have it but not promote it?
That's correct, because you would have the ability to make up the difference. Promoting your book to a bunch of different channels that aren't interested in your book because the art isn't up to snuff is not the same as having a fantastic artist that you can pay for.
Yeah,
and
but
that makes up the promotion.
I do have
I
do have a fairly decent artist at the moment, and I think I'm doing a fairly decent job in coloring it. And also, this time around, in promoting it, it's going to be, I would hope, a little different. I'm just going to get my ass off my butt off my seat, or however you want to say it, and get out there on more channels.
All right, let's see here. Okay, so that comes out to about $128 a day times 5. 1 week is $640, and you get paid bi-weekly over there, right?
Yeah.
So every 2 weeks, your paycheck would be about $1,280.
No, it'd be under 1,000.
Well, of course it would.
Taxes.
I'm talking gross. I'm not talking net. Who knows what your net's gonna be? You probably got child support payments to make.
Not.
How the hell would I know what your net's gonna be, Rick? I'm doing gross. Of course I am.
That's gross,
We times that by 2. It's monthly, and then we'll times that by 12. There we go. So you're 30,000. I'm gonna say in Canada, your tax is probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 20%.
I think it's more than that.
Why? You're not making over $400,000 a year?
I'm not sure.
Is your tax rate more than double that of the United States?
I don't know. I'm thinking it's close to a third. I'd ask my mom, but she's not here at the moment, so.
15% to 33%. 33% is a third, and I'm assuming that's if you make at the highest point. So let me see. Median tax rate Canada, $30,000 a year. What tax bracket do you fall in? On the first $48,000, it's only 15%. So even less than what I was assuming. You pay less in taxes. So 30,000 minus 4,006 brings you to about 26,000.
No, she had to go to an eye doctor's appointment in Mallet.
All right, so that means you would still get over 1,000 in your paycheck for every 2 weeks.
Yeah, just over. And that's assuming that there's no other fees, too.
Fees? What?
Well, is this place... Well, I doubt it's unionized. Giving minimum wage or whatever. No, I did not. Ballot.
So let's say, for the sake of argument, we have fees, and we end up with $800 every 2 weeks.
I know, 1,600 a month.
How much money net? Because now we're talking net here, because this is adjusted for your taxes and fees.
Or possible fees.
Well, the fees that you are sure that you must pay.
I'm not sure.
This is adjusted for that, and I adjusted very low. This is a lot of fees you're paying here.
Yeah.
All right, so essentially, how long does it take to run a campaign? 2 months, right?
Yeah.
And then you 1 month to fulfill.
Yeah.
If you got everything already finished and ready to go.
Yeah. Or a month and a half, depending on how many people that you have, you know.
Well, I'm trying to make it easy for the sake of math. Unlike metal, I don't like putting variables into my math equations. So I always round down. Okay, so in the course of 3 months is $1,800 times 2. That equals $1,600. This is net. This is your profit that you take home.
Yeah.
$1,600 a month.
We don't
times that by 3.
We don't have a garage of metal or mallet, I should say. Well, the building does, but. Okay, why time 3?
Well, it's $1,600 a month. That's what you would be. That's what you would be pocketing.
Oh, that's every 3 months. Oh.
No, that's every month. Every 3 months, it's $4,800.
Yeah.
So let's say you get all of your ducks in a row and you do all of your comic book stuff. And let's say you make double what you did with the first Canadian Shield. How much did you make for the first Canadian Shield? How much did you take home? Did you net?
I don't know. Probably only a couple hundred, maybe 500. If I was lucky. Probably, I'd say a couple hundred by the time all expenses were out.
A couple of hundred as in what? 200? 500?
Yeah, 200, I'd say.
Okay, so let's say you make double. Let's say you make triple what you did on the first Canadian Shield.
Yeah.
Let's say things go really well and you make... Let's say things go really well and you make 5 times as much as you did on the first Canadian Shield.
Yeah.
You know, you get the wink and the gun from the higher ups, and you get put on a bunch of shows, and you get 5 times as much money. That's $1,000.
Yeah.
Take home. Might even make more due to economies of scale.
Yeah.
I mean, getting a part-time job for 3 months or a full-time job for 3 months would fast-track your comic book career by at least 5 campaigns.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, no, that's what the numbers are.
Yeah, well, we know, unfortunately, it is variable. It can make more, it can make less, too.
Well, like I said, at the very least, it would fast track your comic career and what you can invest in it by 5 times, just working a full-time job for 3 months.
Yeah, but that's assuming I can get the job.
Or any job that pays, this is minimum wage.
Yeah, that's assuming I can get the job.
And because we already established, there's plenty of jobs that are hiring for minimum wage right now in Hamilton.
Yeah.
There may not be, high-paying jobs that are hiring, but there's plenty of manual labor that can, and you buy a bottle of Tylenol, you can do some manual labor for 3 months.
Yeah. I guess part of my problem is I've done it so many times, put out resumes and got nothing. It gets discouraging. It's like, why even try? And the last job I had, it was just as I was starting this, I got a job as a cook. I lasted a few weeks, and then the guy decided to go with somebody else, and just didn't even tell me. And I ended up buying a bus pass that I couldn't afford with not having the job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I had the job, I could afford the bus pass. But if I couldn't afford the job, I couldn't afford the bus pass.
Of course.
And it was literally on the change of the month that I bought it. So I got use out of the bus pass just by using it. Whenever, but not as much as I was planning. So, to me, it was a waste of money. It's just a pain.
It is, but there's a lot of things that are discouraging that we just keep on doing anyway.
Yeah.
Working's one of them. Doing a YouTube channel is one of them.
Actually, the real question is, Raggedy, since I don't get income tax, I don't have welfare or anything, I'm not living off any taxpayer. Unless you include my mom, and she's on her senior stuff. Malik's talking about boycotting till I get a job.
Mallet needs to get a job. That guy's lazy as hell.
Or the other thing people could possibly do is try to promote the channel out there, try and help me build the channel.
What's in it for them?
Hopefully having a better show. I don't know. They want to see me succeed, having a better show. Or having, more people and all that ends up helping me succeed.
I don't know, Rick. I think that history has shown that you're still not going to change your camera angle, so how's it going to be a better show?
Well, I don't. You want me to change a camera angle with nothing. I can't just make stuff magically appear. Here, let me show my camera. Google, hopefully people can see. Here is my setup. There's my thing that I hang my camera off of for people to see my thing. You know, it's attached to the thing there, and there's no space for it to get over better. So,
Yeah, we already talked about this, and you have stated very plainly that you don't want the camera near your face because it's hard for you to draw. It makes you uncomfortable.
yeah, well, I can't see what I'm drawing.
I mean, you can. It's just uncomfortable.
No, if it's in my face, then I can't see what I'm drawing.
Yeah, you move your face a little bit.
Apparently, Dillard owns. Like, and then heck, just the other day for that sketch card, you know, when I was doing it, I hung it off my thing, and it ended up being too blurry for people. So apparently, I can't win.
No, you can't, right?
Whether I have it down so you can see it within like 2 inches or whatever, or whether I have
Timothy says if you have all that time, you need to be on YouTube for hours.
Yeah, I am. I'm on for 4 hours a day, minimum usually.
Well, I would hope minimum.
But I'm also trying to have a little bit of a life outside to YouTube too.
Why?
Because I don't want to live for what I'm trying to make my job at the moment.
Okay. So you don't want this to be your life's work,
What?
making comics.
Yeah, I want comics probably more to be my life's work, but you know, I'm branding myself here, trying to get my comics out, you know, so, you know, the YouTube is part of it. And, you know, somehow I think even when hopefully if I get big and famous, I will keep it a part of it in some way, you know.
If you get big and famous, you're thinking about not doing YouTube?
Well, some people might, you know, I wouldn't. I just don't, you know, like, will I, myself, if I'm running a company, be able to do 2 shows a day? Maybe, maybe not. But will I be able to have, you know, people that are doing the drawing, coloring, and whatever else, maybe be on, you know, doing stuff for Cross Comics? I would say hopefully. Yeah, but Timothy, you talk about pushing my website. Everybody here knows my website. Everybody here knows my Patreon. And if I keep pushing it on you guys, I don't think you guys are going to like my website. Maybe not so much because you don't have anything to do. But if I keep pushing my, you know, Patreon, you guys probably not going to like that. You know, you might be forced to feel like you have to give or whatever. And I don't want anybody to feel like they have to forced to give or whatever, however you want to say it. It'd be nice if people would, you know, give to my Patreon. But there's not much. I can't force anybody to do anything. I wouldn't
How
want
many active subscribers do you think you have?
watching me or watching my content.
People that watch your content. Like after everything's said and done, and not everybody can go and watch your stuff as soon as you go live.
Yeah.
People have different schedules. But over the course of the day or the week, what would you say that your average viewers, how many viewers do you have that watch your stuff? I'm not saying exactly because those numbers don't match exactly. I'm saying what do you think is your average?
Somewhere between 20 and 30.
20 and 30. And we know that, for every active viewer, the odds are it's about 0.5% that will donate to a Patreon or something like that. How many do you have that are donating to your Patreon or something like that?
I have 2 people that give to my Patreon.
Okay, so if we get yeah, that's more than what should be donating.
Yeah, and
given your appeal.
Yeah, and actually, I don't think either of those people are watching on a consistent basis anymore.
Right.
Because one's Skunk Girl and the other
one's Tank.
Yeah.
Right. So, why are you unsatisfied if you're doing better than you ought to be doing, given the amount of appeal that your channel has?
I don't know. I thought people liked coming here and all that. The hanging out and all that. And maybe I thought, how do I put it? They know what would help the channel out, or me out, whatever, how you want to say it. I thought when I opened it, I first of all didn't know those statistics, so that you said about for the number of people giving. I just thought, when I opened it, people might give.
Yeah, but that's what everybody thinks. I mean, and then you gotta realize, like people say, "Oh, when are you gonna make hats?" Right? Hats, and you would think by the amount of talk that goes on that people really want a buckler hat. Reality is, there's probably going to be one person that buys the hat, and that's going to be Marsupial, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is why I haven't pulled the trigger on the hats yet. I don't have the demand on my channel for a hat.
Yeah.
Because I'm realistic about it. You can't be like, oh, if I do this, people are just going to do an outpouring of support. It just doesn't happen.
Well, yeah, I was over-realistic or unrealistic about it at first, and now why do I not, promote my Patreon? Because I know promoting it probably wouldn't do anything. So why promote something that doesn't gonna do anything?
Right. I don't think you should.
But
there were things in the past that did get you money, but not enough money to keep on going.
Yeah. Well, there was my auctions that were getting me money, but I think that was just because I was going on a missions trip. As soon as the missions trip was done, that died off.
Yeah, you need to have something going on. You say, "Hey, Rick, what's going on?" Nothing. And when nothing's happening, nothing's going to be moving.
Yeah.
You got to have stuff happening.
He can show us analytics. Well, yeah. Which analytics do you want to see, Mallet? I'm actually, my rest of the day has actually been getting some traction. I have 2 or 3 people that comment on the videos every week, almost every one. So,
because I'll tell you this, the one thing that people have gotten right, and I probably shouldn't even be saying this in front of the chat, but I'm going to say it anyway. The one thing that people have gotten right, and I know this for a fact, is the Indiegogo campaign. because the Indiegogo campaign is something that is happening. It's something that drives interest in your channel, in what you're doing day to day,
Yeah.
because people want to know what you're doing. And if you have an active campaign, it's something that's actually happening.
Yeah.
That's where you can sell your stuff. If I wanted to sell a hat on a regular day-to-day basis, I'm going to need 4,000 subscribers. 4,000 subscribers to sell 5 hats, 10 hats. Whereas on an Indiegogo campaign, as an add-on, you can move hats.
Yeah.
You can move stickers. You can move coloring books. You can move all these products on an active campaign because it's something that's actively happening.
Yeah.
On the off season, which is when you're not funding, you ain't making jack.
Yeah.
I've spent since June until this year, March, almost April now.
Yeah.
That's July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 8 months. 8 months. 8 months of work and being on YouTube and out of that 8 months, only 2 months were active campaign. That's where I made money. That's it.
Yeah.
And if you get that 12,000 that I made during that campaign, and you divide it by 8 months, that's 1,500 a month. That's less than half of what I make. That's less than 1/3 of what I make normally.
Yeah.
It's not worth it financially, but it's something I want to do.
Let's see. This is where we find out Rick goes around issuing copyright claims to hundreds of channels. No, I wouldn't do that. But, well, here's analytics for the last 28 days. Of course, my viewer count is always going up and down through people subscribing and unsubscribing. I'm not sure whether YouTube's unsubscribing them or they're unsubscribing themselves or whatever. So, which analytics would you like to see, Mallet? I'm almost back to, let's see. Oh, I've got over the 4,000 hours watched again. Now it's my subscriber count needs to get pushed. Analytics.
Yeah. Is there a way to show your analytics over the last year?
Yeah.
Or a couple of months?
Yeah. They've got lifetime 90 days, 365 days, or custom.
365 days. Let's go to that.
There we go. And I've gotten 20,411 views in the last 365 days. And I've gone up 8 subscribers. $4,000 hours watched. So, what? Anything specific that you want to see, John?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Go to Lifetime. There we go. All right, so where on here? Show me where on this timeline was the Canadian Shield campaign.
That was January last year, 2020. Think about that.
All right.
Here, you want? Well, I could probably just do custom here. Go back a year. How do I?
Because there was a bump in December of 2018. There's another bump
So,
in May 2019. Another bump there around the time of your launch of your first campaign. And then another bump, it looks like
okay. So this is
November.
This is from the 1st of January to March 17th. So just before my campaign just passed it.
Mm-hmm.
February 6th. But I was going on Prusa a lot there. I did get a bunch of people from there too. So, but you know.
So what do we? Don't.
Don't what?
Are they? What is this for? Is this views? Altogether views?
Yeah, this is views. 4,400. 4,400 views of my various shows. And I went up 143 subscribers in that time. Had 7,440.1 hours watched.
All right. Do you see any correlation as to the bumps or the valleys and what was happening during that time?
Well, that is launch day. That a high right there. First major high. Or the third is a little bit of a high, but probably the second major high of everything. I don't know what would have been going on the 12th. It was a Sunday, so probably each of these valleys is a Sunday, Saturday or Sunday.
Or both days?
Because my weekends, basically, where I don't do anything.
Right. So is there any connection? Is there anything that you can glean from this information as to what you should be doing?
Maybe doing stuff on Saturday and Sunday? Well, I started that. Well, let's see the last 90 days. Saturday and Sunday always seem to be down for views. Watch time, same thing. Let's see what. I'm not sure what. Well, this is like watch time reviews, you know, so what can be gleaned from that? Well, if I'm not streaming on those days, I'm not sure whether there's. The only thing that I think you can glean from those is to do streaming or something for those days. And I've been trying to. Well, Saturdays for quite a while we were doing things. Now it's on Sunday. So I'm not sure. No, what? February 6th. Well, that was the middle of my campaign for thing. I'm not any ideas what you might glean from, because I have no idea.
Well, what I'm gleaning from this information here is that there's not much in term that's varying in growth.
Yeah.
Because because it's kind of small for me. I'm not able to see this. I think it's 60, right? If you go 60, these are overall views
Yeah.
per show.
Yeah. What's that? I did see more. Hey, Fly Fox. Yeah, 60, 70.
Yeah, because what it looks like to me, all these videos, High Noon Season 2 coloring, High Noon Season 2 coloring, that kind of thing, doesn't get you any more viewers. It doesn't give you any growth. The only thing that is actually connecting are the events that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that means that you need to concentrate more on the events that are happening and draw those out. Instead of labeling it, like, let's say, for instance, go back to that one you had where it had the individual episodes that it was ranking. Because I think one of them was a small peak. It was, time to extend my Cross Comics campaign. Or time to extend the Canadian Shields campaign or something like that.
Well, so that's within the last 90 days.
Well, go for the go on the one that had the multicolored chart.
Oh, okay. So see more.
Yeah. Ooh, it's Fly Fox Pro.
Yeah. Okay, can everybody see that?
That's the one. So let's look at this: purple, blue, green, red, and yellow. So let's see: purple, blue, green, red. What is this blue line through? The one that has these little tiny bumps.
Cross Comics After Dark Digital Coloring Ozona, I believe. Yeah, there are different ones of these shows. The red is Cross Comics After Dark Coloring Book Closeout. Purple is Red Dead Redemption Gaming. Green is Cross Comics Weekly Coloring something.
Do any of these? Do you have any? Can you scroll down to see if any of these break the 75 viewer mark?
Oh.
These are overall views, right? 75.
Yeah. Well, the only one here
for the life of the video so far.
Right here it says views. The only one in this stuff that's broken though was digital coloring Ozona. That's the only thing that's broken 75.
Did anything happen during that stream that caused it to have that much?
I have no idea. I know you said a little bit about for the coloring, teaching different ways to make the mask better and all that for coloring it. No, I'm not sure whether anything really special happened. or whether it was a day that, more than normal people, regulars came by.
Yeah, that's not going to give us any good information. Scroll down.
One new subscriber because of it. Hours watched, and number 4 views. Okay. And this, of course, is just for the last 90 days. Do you want anything for any other time period, or?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not. I'm not like keeping track of what you've been doing and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any? Did you have any kind of event in the last 90 days?
Well, I've had, I'd say, basic 3 events. 1 launching, 2 extending, and then closing out.
And what do those numbers look like? Did you look at them already?
Let's see. I knew. I thought they were all here.
Flyfox says, I used to be a social media director. I managed a YouTube channel for a living. Joshua Hughes says, what YouTube channel was it? Flyfox says, it was a Christian media company called Apologia Studios. Or Apologia.
Okay, let's see. Okay, launching coloring book. That has 44 views.
Oh, that is abysmal.
The closeout stream, that got messed up because I had to do it in 2 parts. That had 48 for the part 2. I don't know how much the part 1 had. What's Rick's goal? Right now my goal is getting 1,000 subscribers. Or just over 1,000 subscribers. And I can't even see it. Showing the top 50 results. Please export to view up to top 500. So probably the closeout has less than 39 views. I can't see the closeout, After Dark closeout here. I launched it there. Oh yeah, I did see. The extending, was that on high noon, or the extending one might have been. Oh, the closeout, the part 1 of the closeout stream has 61 views. I need to do a pre-recorded content about things people are interested in. Live streams are a way to grow subs. Yeah, well, there's the verse of the day I do every day. That's sort of pre-recorded. I do it each morning and then upload.
Yeah, but that's low. That's very, very low production value.
Yeah.
Because the thing is this, Rick, you have the ability to make pre-recorded videos.
Yeah.
And you also have the ability to do that from what I've experienced of you on a very consistent basis. You're very consistent.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that your goal is to get over 1,000 subs.
Well, I have more loftier goals than that, but that is a short-term goal.
because what your main goal is to sell comics to people.
Yeah.
And what that means is that you don't need dead subs. What you need are a lot of people that are in your live streams that are actively participating, because that's where your money comes from.
Yeah.
So I actually do think that you should do at least one show a day. But you do need to reach out to a broader base, because I think that you have reached this base, and the people that are going to subscribe to you from this base have.
Yeah.
And I do think you need to reach into the Christian base, but not just with you know, what do you call it?
The verse of the day.
Yeah, a random verse, because you don't really expound on your verses. You just kind of read them, and if sometimes you'll even say something like, "That's pretty self-explanatory," and then end the video. Like, what?
Well, it's not very often I do that, though. I do usually expound a little. You know, I don't go into a full depth. Actually, I was talking recently, Flyfox and a couple other people. I was thinking about wanting to do.
I know, I heard that conversation.
Yeah.
I was lurking in that chat.
I'm part of quite a few.
We need to make some bumpers, because you can still do your verse of the day, but we need to make some bumpers for it, an intro and an outro, and make them look clean and succinct and short and sweet, so that you can do them without dedicating your whole day to editing.
Yeah. That's my whole problem. You know, I like doing those shorts, you know, like 5 or 10 minute videos, but, you know, they're like, it takes who knows how long to edit them to get it right or decent.
Yeah, so we need to make some some templates that you can just plug in information. Make a template so that we can have a little animation, and inside the animation, all you do is change the verse as it shows up on screen. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're talking about for the verse of the day.
Yes.
Also, the verses of the day are not bad for that. You know,
I know, but they're extremely low production value. We need to bump that production value.
Yeah, well, then what you're talking about would be probably creating a whole new animation every day. You know, I change the picture behind me every day to try and match whatever the verse.
So you're not willing to change that then?
I am, but I'm trying to do I want to do something that makes sense for it. What do you mean by a bumper video or whatever?
Like, okay, let me, here's the thing. Like, okay, you remember my Diller Draws Your OCs?
Yeah.
It would have a little intro.
Yeah.
Then it would say, you know, all right, so this is the idea today. I'm going to be doing this. And instead of drawing, you just talk about your verse of the day. And then you'll talk about, say, here's the verse. And then you have a bumper that comes up, which is just a video of the verse showing up on screen, and then you reading through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then it cuts back to whatever other image, and then you just discussing it, and then an outro. That's it.
Well, that sounds almost basically what I'm doing.
But it's not, because it's super low production value.
Yeah, well,
if I go to a verse of the day, let me go to a YouTube here real quick, and I watch a verse of the day. Let's go to Cross Comics. Videos. Verse of the day. Okay, so it has you in your green screen with your head showing there, and it has a bunch of people pulling this guy in a wheelchair up a hill.
Yeah.
And you're saying, "Welcome to the verse of the day, March 30th, 2021."
And at that point, I pop up the date, and then when I was just as I'm about to read the verse, I pop it up, you know,
Mhm.
and I read it, obviously, comment on it, and I keep it up during the whole time. And, you know, try and use a picture behind. Like I said, I try and get the picture too.
Okay. So, question. Because there's a lot of stuff, like I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
this production value is very low. It says verse of the day. It has some sort of opaque,
Yeah.
semi-opaque background.
Yeah.
That's green. It says verse of the day in pink.
Yeah.
In a crazy font, a different font under it that says March 13th.
Yeah.
But like this stuff, and then it has another sort of opaque-ish white background, and then the verse itself is in there, but it's all fuzzy.
Yeah.
Then you have this picture in the background. I'm not sure what it has to do with it. And then you have yourself here in the bottom right-hand corner also looking fuzzy and choppy and cut out, which is very distracting.
Uh-huh.
This is what I mean by like, what can we do to make this pop, make it faster paced, get a little bit more information out in the same amount of time?
Well, I like having the verse on the screen all the time, and I've made it opaque for the reason of, you know, being able to see the picture behind. That's the main reason of opaque. You know, I don't want to.
Yeah, but why is there even a background at all?
Well, I was doing no background before, you know, and just me. You know, I'm trying to have a picture that might relate to what I talk about. Hopefully, you know, and I can say something with the picture. You know, I don't always, but hopefully the picture might have something to do with whatever I'm talking about. I forget what my verse today was. Unfortunately, I do that. And hello, Arlene. Compare it to my video this morning. Flyfox says. But, you know.
All right, let me go find Fly Fox's video this morning.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so pixelated.
He has from 1 hour ago.
Let's see.
That's hilarious. Yeah, Fly Fox has a much better working green screen than you do, Rick. But and it does look more professional. He has a. Am I still sharing my screen?
I'm not sure. Give me a sec.
Let me go check real quick. No, I'm not. Hold on. So here's Fly Fox's news program from this morning. He's doing news program. See it?
Give me a sec.
So he's sitting under his logo, but not really. His logo's all off center, but it does look crisp and clean. His image is a little blurry. It's a little distracting because everything's so dark and he's so light.
No.
Like his darks don't match the dark of the background, so it's a little bit but it's pretty clean. It's a pretty crisp outline he has going on there with his green screen. You can tell the gamma's messing up a little bit, but the screen he's presenting is crystal clear also.
No. Yeah, well, I don't know why mine's uh, not. For my green screen, I know it's the lighting in my room where I'm doing it. And I don't think I'm going to get lighting better anywhere else.
So I would say the weakest part of this is the texts and the image. So why not get rid of that and change the texts?
Okay, well,
Like, for instance, if you want to do the verse of the day, why is it important that they see your face?
I guess it's not, I just thought,
And instead of verse of the day on top, why not cross comics?
because I'm trying to for it, yeah, it's Cross Comics doing it, but for me, it's more important for that. It's,
Because it says verse of the day right here in the title.
yeah. I don't know, for me, for verse of the day, anyways, it's on Cross Comics, about Cross Comics, about me doing it, but I don't want it to be about me, although I'm on screen. I don't want it to be about me. I know it's a wacky logic. Well, I just think it's more personable in seeing somebody talk, when about talking, when, not just a disembodied voice. I do want to make it about the verse and all that, but there's a connection there, It's just not a disembodied voice talking about it then. Now, I'm not sure what I can do for the, I'm not sure what I can do for the text. Oh, maybe I have to create a slide off somewhere else or whatever, because I'm just using the in-program thing for the text. So maybe I have
program thing.
OBS in-program for the text.
Oh, yeah. You should type it out on like a Clip Studio file and then just save a PNG.
Yeah.
And overlay it.
Bo says his voice is always disembodied. So I guess I could up the value of that with that, and then if it's a PNG and just words,
it should come out very, very clear.
And I wouldn't necessarily need background then either. The white opaque.
Right. I mean, honestly, why not go with an all-white background, or even have some sort of Christian iconography instead?
Well, because of the picture in the background, I'm trying to use the green screen with that, but if I'm not going to be on, I don't even need the green screen, I guess. It'd just be a picture in the image.
So, can you do me a favor?
What? I can try.
The image that you got that you're using on this, do you still have this image of this guy in this wheelchair?
Yep.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah.
And I will do in Clip Studio, I will make because the thing is, from the top right corner to the bottom left corner is all the real estate that you have to work with, and you got to treat it precious. And the whole bottom, sixth of the screen, typically when people, because this is a short video, so you got to remember, short video, that little icon where the the play button is and the scrolling bar, that's going to be interfering. So you don't want to have anything down there, like where it says Matthew 7:12. Yeah. You don't want anything down there because it's going to get blocked by the options, the settings, the play button. You know what I mean? So you don't have a lot of real estate to work with, so you want to make everything as crisp as possible and as succinct to the message.
No, let's see. Where is it? I have a folder with all the images I've used and some that I haven't. Where is it? Maybe get a haircut, lose the sideburns. It says bullet. Copy and paste.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to comb your hair and shave. I mean, why would you have yourself on screen? You look like you just roll out of bed.
Usually I have. Because it's usually one of the first thing I do.
Yeah, I know.
Where is that picture? And I know people have been liking the picture too.
Yeah, the verse of the day isn't a bad idea. It's a good idea.
Well, I'm just saying people like the picture behind, you know. Me too, and how I've tied it in a little bit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't really matter the image. I'll just give you another image I've used before. I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Alright, I just sent it to you. John, review my transport fever thumbnail, says Mallet. It would help to have the camera near where you're looking as well. I usually just set it on my desk and point it up towards me. It's like a foot away from me. Flyfox. Bullet says he's going to start Arrival Curse of the Day. I thought that was Eagles or Evans' thing that they were going to do, Bullet.
What the hell's a curse of the day?
I don't know. Spouting a curse at people that watch?
All right, let's find a nice little set of writing that, looks Christian.
Evan is dead. Oh, we know Evan. He's on Twitch, and he was with Mr. Squeakers on a program playing a game on D Live, Bullet. So we know he's alive. Put it more eye level. I guess I could put something else on my desk and put it on top of. Anything like that can just be quick to do that with, so that I can have every day to do that. Again, let me see the green screen. Oh, the green screen is cheap, Flyfox. I'd like to up that production of it. I just went to Dollarama and got a cheap, or the dollar store, and got a cheap tablecloth just to see whether it would work. Instead of spending, $100,000 on one. I know that's a big exaggeration.
Yeah, they're $28.
Well, it depends on how big you get. One
6 by 8.
I know when my church got one, it was like $200-300 or more. So, but then again, it was a really, really big one too. So,
I can imagine.
see what's up. Yeah, the green is not saturated enough. Yeah. It's very see-through. I was thinking of buying a second one to put behind it. Was Dollarama hiring? I don't know. And then my lighting, it needs to be lit separately from you. Well, unfortunately, that's probably hard to do in my combined space, Flyfox. And the fact that I have light coat, I gotta re-put a curtain up in my room because light comes in, reflects off it, and reflects back into the window. A bunch of reflection from my window outside, as you can. Oh no, you can't see. You can't go to the fabric store and get. You can go to the fabric store and get a better green material if you want. That shouldn't be much. Yeah. Well, this was like $1.50, and I just wanted to see whether it would work. You know, opposed to paying $200 or $300 for a professional one. I realize it's not the optimal thing, or whatever, however you want to say it.
How do you want to say it?
I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't. Brush your hair because your camera is not great. The green conflicts with that. Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Or just wet your hair.
I've gotten lazy. I was brushing it on a somewhat regular basis for a while when I was being on camera, doing the verse of the day, but I've gotten lazy in that respect. I'm not sure what got me out of it. Probably not being able to find the brush as fast as I wanted to. Are you showing? I guess you're not showing what you're doing there, John. Oh yeah, you are. Well, let me show John. There we go. Don't be lazy, or be lazy in the right way. I'm lazy, so keep my hair short.
What is the actual verse?
Today.
What does it say?
It's Matthew 7:12. So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you, for this sums up the law and the prophets. Yeah, I've had my hair short many times. I don't like it short.
So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you.
Yeah, for this sums up the law and the prophets. Matthew 7:12. Well, that might have been why I did it too. Because with black lettering, it's a little bit harder to see on possible backgrounds.
My computer is so whack.
Timothy says he's back. Ah! Dillard's investment in Rick is always entertaining to me, says Bullet.
Dillard, what?
Investment in me. Dillard's investment in Rick is always entertaining to Bullet. John, when you're buying that Walmart one?
What am I buying?
John, when you buying that Walmart one, it's John's penance for being a bad person.
Oh, are you talking about that computer? No, I'm probably not going to buy that computer. Bless you.
Thank you.
And what is the address for the scripture?
Matthew 7:12. Still will get into heaven. Trail of dead hookers be damned. Aloud. Now it's asking, Bullet, did you enjoy the racing? Bullet did enjoy the racing.
How do you abbreviate Matthew?
That's right, M-A-T-T.
Okay. Well, I don't like this Times New Roman. Though I like it for pretty much everything. Let's just go back to Impact. Everybody uses Impact. And why not? It's fantastic.
Is it impactful?
Yes, that's why it's used.
Do everything to the glory of God. It's not do everything except pushing it. So Spy Fox, yeah. I've just gotta not be lazy and find the brush, spend the extra time or whatever. Also, I've been getting up a little bit too late lately too. Today I didn't get up till like about 20 to 11, so the first of the day came out a little bit later than normal. I gotta set my alarm clock to get me up at 9 no matter what.
All right, so this is simple, and it looks like something that a church would put out, but it doesn't look dated. It doesn't have wacky lettering. It's just simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got the image, and I put a layer of black over it, so it's not like this. It's not super bright. I just put a layer of black and turned down the opacity very low, just to kind of push the image into the background and push this white lettering into the foreground.
Yeah.
Because the verse is what's important, and your commentary on it.
Yeah.
And if you just had this static image as you spoke, and when you speak, talk about the verse, right? Record it. Talk about the verse. Just press record and talk. Then stop, play it back, think about what you said, and then make changes, and then record it again, and just use that second recording. So everything sounds a bit more succinct, and what you're trying to say comes out faster and more relevant to what actually the message you want to get across. And before this, you play your intro, and this is your static image in the back. If you want, you can bring in another image during your speaking, but make sure you don't don't try to make it look tacky. You know what I mean? Like, try to make it look as clean and modern as possible, and then you play your outro, and then that would be it. And something like that is very it's like a daily devotional. You can just click on it, watch it in the morning, and then okay, cool, and then you take off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's
something people can consume easily, and it's not distracting.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want. I wanted something easy, fairly easy, succinct. Usually between 2 and 3 minutes. Yeah, sometimes it goes slightly over, but Mallet says he will do none of these things. I'm probably the major difference that he was talking about is I'm probably just gonna do one recording, because I don't always not succinct or whatever, but I think if I try and do 2 recordings, I'm going to miss what I was trying to say or whatever. It'll turn out different. Because I never say the exact same thing twice.
And what you do is, when you do your recordings, don't just lean back and be like, verse of the day, October 10th. You want to say, you want to, whatever microphone you're using, you want to lean in as close to it. Because again, you're recording. You're not on camera on this one.
Yeah.
You're just recording. So if you're not going to do 2 takes, which I highly recommend you do, but if you don't, you want to find the microphone you're using, whether it's in line on your headset or whatever, the camera, get as close as you can to it, but speak more quietly. You talk like this into your microphone. That way people feel that what you're talking about is something very important to you.
Have I ever thought of advertising comics to churches in my area? Well, the church I was going to before the one I am now, they all knew I was into comics, and I tried to do stuff to be able to promote myself in the church, but they were very resistant to that idea, I guess is the best way to say it, and nicest way. The church I'm going to right now, because it's the only one of the easiest ones to get to and not have too much problems going to with the whole pain in the neck COVID crap. They're actually promoting my stream on a regular basis. What other churches are? You gotta have some sort of person. I guess you don't have to have some sort of personal connection. I'm just like calling. cold calling these places up. I'm not sure how I'd say about trying to get them to get my comics or whatever. Although I know with my next campaign I'm going to be putting out or going to try and put out a lot of press kits to various Christian organizations and such.
Well, one thing you have to remember when you're dealing with churches is that churches do not like being viewed as a source of income for anyone, but they do love being viewed as a place that you can grow and partner with people in your personal life for your business.
The one Christian bookstore, I did contact with them about getting my thing in, but they don't take on consignment stuff anymore. They do have a bulletin board in their store that I was thinking about putting something on, but I've got to get out there and stop by. But I'm not even sure whether.
One thing you need to consider, Rick, is that quality is an issue. And if you'll notice that the more high quality your book becomes, the more people that are going to be willing to say, "Oh yes, we actually still do consignments."
Yeah, well, they didn't even see it. They didn't
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing you need to bring with you when you go.
Well, I contacted them via email and all that. Otherwise, I would have brought one with me.
Yeah, so there's also that. And then make sure when you finish these, so when everything, and after you finish your spiel on your, your verse of the day, you say, have a wonderful and blessed day. And don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos. Bye.
Yeah, I've actually created an outro.
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether you noticed that.
Let me go take a look, because it probably has horrible audio, what I'm imagining.
Yeah, it was low. I've pumped it up. Usually. Yeah,
you want to wow. Okay, so you started your intro. My God, it's 30 seconds long. No, you want it to be under 10 seconds.
What do I say that would be under 10 seconds?
You type it out and then you read it.
Oh no.
Because you're a comic book creator, right? You can write stuff. You write it on a piece of paper and then you say, okay, and then I can say this in under 10 seconds.
I think I said everything that needed to be said. I don't know. I have to re-listen.
Let me read what you. Let me listen to what you said. Give me a second here. Hit the like button, subscribe, share. Also, we have a playlist for verses of the day. A bunch of verses of the day we did through the year. Check out our other Bible-based programs. Love you all. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye and God bless. And that's too much. A simple call to action, real fast, under 10 seconds.
So which part would you take out of that?
No, I would rewrite the whole thing.
Okay, what would you rewrite it as?
I would rewrite it as, if you enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more Christian-related content. God bless. And then you leave.
Do it in an Indian accent. I guess I could. I don't know.
I mean, you don't have to put every single thing that you do in your outro.
I didn't put everything.
You're asking people to subscribe, like the video, and share the video. Come on. If somebody my mom sends me this garbage stuff all the time. She sends me these daily devotional verses and stuff like that. I don't ever watch them. And because the first time I watched them, they were long and lengthy, and they were like, I don't have 25 minutes in the beginning of my day to read a devotional and listen to some person expound upon it. I want it quick and fast.
Arlen says pauses and ahs can take up more time than you think. Yeah, reading reading a written message is always best.
Absolutely. That's why people, when they go up to give speeches, like in class and stuff like that, and they read off of their paper, they'll sit there, they look at the teacher because they still have the light's still green, they still have more time to kill. They're like, man, it took me so long to write this. I thought it would take me just as long to read this. No, if you read something, it goes by really fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I did sort of a sermon once, and it was way shorter than what I had, and I just read almost basically what I wrote. I didn't expound much on things. I didn't use it as notes compared to just reading.
Mm-hmm. And also slow down your pace of talking. Because again, this is YouTube, and this is a daily devotional Bible thing. You're not really paying too much attention to the picture in the background. And once you read the scripture, because the scripture being there is just a proof, right? That's just like, this is what the scripture says, sort of thing. It's not like they're not going to believe you if you don't put it on there.
Yeah.
It's just a stand-in for, like, this is actually something from the Bible. Look, it looks like this from the Bible. This is my proof of where it comes from.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about something. This is actually where it comes from. It comes from the Bible. This is what it says.
Yeah.
Once that's read, they're not going to be looking at it anymore. They're just going to be listening to you talk about what this verse means to you, or what it should mean to them.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying that's, and the thing is, I think that if you do that and you don't make it look so old, because like the one you have on it looks like it's from the 80s. And I know that you really like the 80s, but the 80s are gone, right? They're not coming back.
Okay. Okay, what makes it, well, except for me, what makes it look like, well, I guess maybe the way I started trying to, I used to have just the verse of the day, one thing, and I started trying to match the verse of the day with the month or whatever, So I tried to do like Easter type colors this month. I did gold, and I did.
Take the verse of the day that I just made you. Here, let me send it to you and put it next to the one you have. Let me send it to you. Let me save it real quick. Because I can't really tell unless it's side by side.
How do I choose my verses of the day? Well, I have a few different places I go to, and whatever I think is a good verse, and not going to be too controversial to talk about. I choose, and I'm also trying to make sure I have not done the verse before. You wouldn't believe how many times I've redone the same verse, sometimes within a month, and didn't realize it. Controversy sells. Yeah, true. Maybe the problem is I'm too worried about, and I shouldn't be, bringing people in or scaring off potential subscribers. Maybe I can't be scared about that. Or maybe, actually, it's probably not that. It's probably just YouTube. I'm scared of YouTube. I don't want to do too much to risk my channel.
And the thing is, people that are, why would you want to, why would you want to talk about something that's irrelevant? You want to talk about something that's happening right now. You want to talk about the what's his name? That rapper that's putting human blood in all of his stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
Well,
like garbage.
So, and even sometimes I, relate whatever I'm saying to the stuff of the day. Don't be afraid to take your comics and set up at events. It's the Wild West when it comes to indie comics. Oh, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the verse of the day, Timothy. Sometimes the verse of the day, some of the stuff in the Bible is controversial, especially with YouTube. You sent that guest already?
Mm-hmm.
Copy image. I guess we should save image. Yeah. Oh, you changed the subject. And the stuff, YouTube hasn't bothered any preachers or teachers I follow, but they don't touch on politics. Yeah, well, sometimes I touch on it. Damn, I was not paying attention. Stumbling, a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense. They stumble because they disobey the word as they were destined to from the Bible. This is Fly Fox. Oh, where is it? Right there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's save as illustration. Oh no, PNG. Okay. But I'm definitely going to take your advice in creating everything up in Clip Studio beforehand, the lettering and all that for the verse.
Because just when you see stuff like the way you have it, where it has an opaque background, it makes it look like you took it from somewhere instead of something you created. You know what I mean? It looks like you just cropped something from somewhere else and put it on the screen.
I wasn't. Where the heck is? I'll probably didn't get it fully saved there. Save completely so I can get it in here. Now let's take. But yeah, let's see.
Well, I'm getting close to 1,000 followers on Twitter. That's good.
Let's see. Well, the only other thing is I would want in there is the actual day. Which day it is. Timothy says I'm about 500 from that. Yeah, I am a fair amount from that too as well. What are my followers on Twitter? I'm 351 followers on Twitter. I was close to 1,000 before the purge, says Raggedy. But yeah, I'm going to take a few of the things that you've suggested and implement them for sure. See whether Twitter is lame, says Flyfox. Be yourself. Everything else is timidness, says Mallet. Although I might actually, I'd probably put the verse reference under still. Maybe I'd put in the other corner where you put the verse, the date, instead of underneath.
No, you should no. Aesthetically, you should either put it under the verse or put it where I left it. If you're going to put the date, put it under the words verse of the day.
Okay. Bottom line, say to the world, here I am, world, deal with it. Audio's got to go. Okay, yeah, and I should get going. It's like 3:15.
You still haven't got. Look, share my screen. I did it really fast, Rick. It's not that hard.
Okay.
Good Lord. Okay, there.
Oh, you meant I brought them up side by side in a different way, but
But do you see what I mean? How the one on the right looks cleaner.
yeah,
What you're talking about, the verse, is big and bold in the middle of the screen.
yeah,
It looks like you made it. It doesn't look like you took it from somewhere and put it on your screen.
yeah. No, all I was just talking about was taking the Matthew 7:12 and putting it underneath the verse where you have it.
Yeah,
And
whatever.
and
Whatever
put
you
it,
want to do, just don't make it like how you have it.
yeah. And I was just talking about putting the date possibly in the spot where you have the Matthew 7:12.
Well, if you want to ruin it. But just don't do what you did before. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
If you do it like this and you put a nice clean intro with clean audio, and instead of your verse of the day intro and the outro that you have where it has all kinds of different stuff going on and just a whole bunch of talking, make it very succinct. Start it off with get a little tagline going so when they click the video they say the same thing as you always say.
yeah. I've pretty much been saying the same thing for the last.
No, it has to be the exact same thing.
It was just-
Maybe you say it in a different way every time, but it has to be the exact same thing.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by pretty much. I say, good day, good afternoon, good morning, whatever the case may be, wherever you are, wherever you're listening.
Yeah, that's way too long. Shorten it up, Rick. It doesn't have to be a marathon.
Yeah, I'm trying to be me. Just good morning.
You can start off with hello, and that's it.
Well, I think I used to have good morning or welcome to the verse of the day, you know, that's it. That's what I used to have.
You could do like AV and go, gentlemen, welcome. That's it.
Raggedy says, remember crap, Rick. Contrast, repetition, alignment, and proximity. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what you mean by all that. Repetition is, I think, fairly easy. Contrast, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Or alignment. I know what the words mean, but into what you're trying to say, I'm not sure. It's me, Rick. You can kiss Rick.
I'm just saying, whatever you do, lean into it and work with what you got. If you got a microphone, use your microphone to its full potential. Speak right into it.
Yeah.
Get all up close to your microphone, but speak a little softer so you're not blowing everybody's eardrums out.
Yeah. The problem is sometimes it seems like when I record it, I'm like louder than loud, and sometimes it's.
So where is your microphone at right now?
It's just above my. I can't see with my.
No, I don't need to see it. I just need you to tell me.
It's above my laptop. Basically, here I am. There's my microphone.
So since you're not going to be on camera, go and lean forward all the way up to the microphone and say, "Good morning, Christians."
Good morning. Well, you might not want me to do that right now.
Yeah, right now.
Okay, I have to stand up to get right next to it.
That's right. You got to stand up and lean into it.
Good morning. No. I feel weird doing that. Good morning, Christians.
Oh my God, you sound so much better.
Ruin everyone's ear, says Timothy. Do the opposite.
Like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and put on my camera, right? So here's my camera. Here's me. This is where I am, and this is where my microphone is.
Yeah.
It's right here. It's right here in front of my mouth. I have it about 2 inches lower than my bottom lip, and about 4 inches away. That's it.
Yeah.
If I have it all the way across the room, this is how it's gonna sound like this. You know what I mean? But if I'm actually talking into my microphone, it sounds better. It's inconvenient because it's on a stand and it's right here between my legs and it's between me and my drawing tablet. But this is where it has to be so that I can be on YouTube.
Yeah.
My camera's right here in front of me, right at eye level. That's where my camera is. You see that? Right there.
Yeah.
And now it's all wacky because I put my hand in front of it, so now it's all out of focus. But it's where the stuff has to be in order for you to be on YouTube effectively.
Well, my problem is I need equipment.
I just saw that you had a microphone right there.
Yeah, well, I have nothing to. It has no stand. There's no way to put it anywhere near in front of me, and without it falling down on the ground every 5 seconds.
Well, you have tape. You have a stack of books. I have pieces of wood that are connected to my table. They're not connected to the walls. Nothing's connected to the walls.
Yeah.
I have a piece of wood that I have connected to this table that I have my camera attached to. It didn't come with the table. I had to put it on there.
Yeah. Again,
because if I connected it to my desk, the camera would be over here to the right and not at eye level. And before that, I had a bunch of books stacked up that I would rest the camera on. And it happened to me last time I was on stream. My camera, everybody was making fun of me because my camera was slowly going lower and lower and lower because the tape was getting old. But that's where it has to be for you guys to see what I'm drawing.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, unless I can I'm not even sure what this is.
Again, don't give me no excuse. I know you got a stack of books and tape.
Yeah, well, I can't put a stack of books in the middle of my drawing area.
That's
Otherwise-
what mine is.
John, here, let's see. Right now, I have my camera.
You know what else I've done before? When I used to have my old garage, I had my microphone cord behind my head, and I had my microphone draped over my shoulder, resting on my chest as I drew.
Right now, there is. I have put a stack of things. Just put it up to, like what he suggested. If I'm on video in my verse of the day, I can do that. But if I'm drawing, well, I can't put a stack of books there. But if I'm on camera and I can't put a stack of books right there to try and put my camera on so you guys can see. Otherwise, I have no place to draw. And because that's literally my drawing area. If I want to draw physically, I can't put a stack of books there. But if I'm trying to do this, which probably you guys like better, I can put stuff there. And unfortunately, my thing that I hang my camera off of, which is right there, I can't, there's nothing to attach it over that way. Well, there's that, but, it's not quite long enough.
Arlene says a crafter has her camera zip tied to a yardstick that is shoved under a stack of books on top of her bookcase. Exactly. But Rick has already decided, much like his license, he's decided that if he can't have it right when he needs it, he's just not going to do it.
Well, I do it if this stuff costs money I don't have.
It doesn't cost money to stack books and put tape on a camera.
Yeah, well, where am I going to stack these books?
What did Arlene just say? She says she has a yardstick shoved under a stack of books that protrudes out from the books, and she hangs the camera off that yardstick.
Yeah, well...
There's all kinds of solutions you can do. You just got to get to the solution and get out of the problem.
Yeah, well, I guess I could do that in where some of the toys are, but I'm sure it would fall down like every 30 seconds.
Maybe you could put a heavier weight on it and it wouldn't fall down every 30 seconds, maybe only once a month.
No, once a minute then.
Oh, God damn it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Goodbye, Rick.
I exaggerate, of course, but... Oh, there goes John. What are you going to do with the new cameras? I'm not sure yet. And actually, I'm not even sure whether they're going to work because I had the cord... or got the little adapter piece to go from Wi-Fi to or USB to from FireWire to thing, and plugged it in, and it didn't work. So I'm gonna make sure my computer that John got me can take a card and buy one of those for $20. And I'm not even sure whether that's gonna work, because I started doing some research, and I don't think these cameras can act as cameras just to be a way to do something on YouTube. Yeah, I probably will. Raggedy. Although I doubt anybody's going to be using them there because they were just in storage. I was thinking about seeing whether I could do some sort of remote stuff with them because I got tapes, but then again I'm just getting the stuff on the computer again. It's still difficult. I got my head out of my butt and listened, but I know what I have, and I know what I don't have, and I know know what my abilities are. I know what my abilities aren't, Timothy. And I also know my luck. But as I was said 15 minutes ago, it is, well, 15 minutes ago I said it's quarter after. It's now halfway. Way. But anyways, it's 3:30. I've gone over an hour and a half long. I guess we'll catch you all later. Maybe see you tonight on After Dark. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful